you have to do this?
The air in the 50th floor boardroom tasted like expensive tobacco and fear. Jae-Ha Kwon sat at the head of the table, tattooed fingers drumming against mahogany worth more than most people's homes, and listened to his underboss explain why 3 shipments had gone missing in Busan. The explanation was poor. The excuses were poorer. Blood would be spilled before this meeting ended. Everyone in the room knew it. 6 men in tailored suits sat perfectly still, not making eye contact, barely breathing, waiting to see who Jae-Ha would choose to punish for incompetence. The Iron King of Seoul's Underworld had built his empire on fear and precision. Mistakes were not tolerated. Weakness was not forgiven. And right now, someone in this room had shown both. Jae-Ha leaned forward, about to speak, about to deliver a sentence that would end a career or a life, when the heavy oak doors burst open. His head of security, Min-soo, tried to block the entrance but was too late. Maya Torres stumbled through, face flushed with panic, chasing something small and fast that had escaped her grip in the hallway. A toddler. 14 months old. Chubby legs pumping, diaper visible under tiny jeans, moving with the fearless determination only babies possess. The room froze. No one moved. No one breathed. Because children did not exist in Jae-Ha's world. Children were complications. Liabilities. Soft things that had no place in rooms where men decided who lived and who disappeared. Maya's son, Leo, ran straight across the plush carpet, past the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul, past armed men who could kill him with one hand, straight toward the most dangerous person in the building. Jae-Ha's eyes widened. Just slightly. Just enough. The baby reached him, grabbed his silk tie with sticky fingers, and pulled himself up using Jae-Ha's $1,000 slacks for leverage. Then looked up at the tattooed monster everyone in Seoul feared. And smiled. Pure. Radiant. Uncomplicated joy. Dada! The word echoed in the silent boardroom like a gunshot. Leo wrapped his small arms around Jae-Ha's leg and squeezed, completely content, completely trusting, as if he'd found exactly what he was looking for. Jae-Ha stared down at the child clinging to him. His mouth opened slightly. No words came out. For the first time in 15 years, the Iron King had no idea what to do. Maya stood frozen in the doorway, hand over her mouth, eyes wide with absolute terror. She just brought her son into a room full of killers. She just interrupted a meeting where someone was about to die. She just watched her baby call the most ruthless man in Korea Dada. She was dead. They were both dead. She knew it. Jae-Ha's hand, the same hand that had broken bones, pulled triggers, signed death warrants, slowly, carefully, impossibly gently, reached down and touched the top of Leo's head. The baby giggled. Grabbed his finger. Held on tight. And Jae-Ha Kwon, who had not felt anything resembling warmth in 2 decades, felt something crack in his chest. The underboss cleared his throat. Sir, should we, everyone out? Jae-Ha's voice was quiet. Dangerous. Now. 6 men scrambled from their chairs and fled. The door closed. Leaving only Jae-Ha, Maya, and the child who had just called a monster. Dada. Maya waited to die. Instead, Jae-Ha looked at her, still holding her son's small hand, and asked the last question she expected. Why does he think I'm his father? If you're still watching right now, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. Subscribe to our channel for stories that can make you smile, and can also make you cry for absolute strangers. Now, let's get into the story. Maya's hands wouldn't stop shaking. She stood in the center of the boardroom holding Leo, who was still reaching for Jae-Ha like they were old friends, completely oblivious to the fact that his mother was certain they had minutes left to live. Jae-Ha hadn't moved from his chair. Hadn't answered his own question. Just stared at them with an expression Maya couldn't read, confusion, maybe, or anger so cold it looked like curiosity. I'm sorry, she finally managed, voice cracking. I'm so sorry, Mr. Kwon. My sitter cancelled last minute and I couldn't find anyone and I thought I thought I could keep him in the staff quarters while I cleaned, but he got away and I... How old is he? Jae-Ha interrupted. What? The child. How old? 14 months. And his father? Maya's throat tightened. Gone. Dead. It's just us. Jae-Ha stood slowly, deliberately, the way predators move when they don't want to startle prey. He walked around the table and stopped 3 feet away. Leo immediately lunged for him again, arms outstretched, making grabbing motions. Dada! Dada! He's never done this before, Maya whispered, pulling Leo back. I swear, he's never. He doesn't know you. I don't know why he's... Does he do this with other men? No. Never. He's usually shy around strangers, especially men. I don't understand what. Jae-Ha's phone buzzed. He glanced at it. Ignored it. Looked back at Leo, who was now crying because Maya wouldn't let him go to the tattooed stranger. You've worked for me for 11 months, Jae-Ha said. Yes, sir. You're reliable. Quiet. You don't ask questions. Yes, sir. You clean my home. You know the layout. You've seen things most people don't survive seeing. Maya's pulse hammered. This was it. This was where he reminded her that she knew too much. That bringing her son here was a liability. That loose ends got tied up in his world. I'm sorry, she said again, hating how small her voice sounded. I'll leave. Tonight. You'll never see us again, I promise. No. The word was final. Absolute. Maya's knees nearly buckled. No. You'll move into the safe wing. 3rd floor. Eastern side of the penthouse. Private entrance. Secure. You and the child. Tonight. She stared at him. I don't understand. You're a single mother working for a criminal. Anyone wanting to hurt me could use you. Use him. He nodded at Leo. You're a liability now. But you're also an asset. I've invested 11 months into training. So you'll stay where I can protect you. Protect us? The safe wing has bulletproof glass. Reinforced doors. Panic room access. You'll live there. Continue your work. But you'll be monitored. For your safety. It wasn't a request. It was a command dressed as protection. Maya should have been terrified. Should have grabbed Leo and run. Should have understood that accepting meant becoming a prisoner in a gilded cage. But Leo had stopped crying the moment Jae-Ha spoke. Was watching him with wide, trusting eyes. And Maya was exhausted from 11 months of working 2 jobs, sleeping 4 hours a night, terrified every day that someone would discover she was more than just a housekeeper, that she was running from something. Someone. Okay, she heard herself say. We'll stay. Jae-Ha nodded once. Minsu will help you move your things. You start in the safe wing tonight. He turned to leave. Leo reached for him one more time. Dada, bye-bye. Jae-Ha stopped. Looked back. Something flickered across his face, too fast to identify, too real to ignore. Then he walked out, leaving Maya standing in the boardroom wondering what she just agreed to. Jae-Ha had killed his first man at 19. Built his empire at 25. Survived 3 assassination attempts before 30. He negotiated deals worth hundreds of millions, orchestrated the downfall of rival families, and earned the nickname, Iron King, because nothing, absolutely nothing, rattled him. But 3 days after Maya and Leo moved into the safe wing, Jae-Ha discovered he couldn't concentrate on a single goddamn thing because a 14-month-old child was laughing in his penthouse. The sound carried through the marble hallways, bright and unfiltered, cutting through the heavy silence Jae-Ha had carefully cultivated for years. He was reviewing shipping manifests when he heard it, Leo's delighted shriek followed by Maya's gentle voice singing something in Spanish. His pen stopped moving. The numbers on the page blurred. He listened instead. It happened again during a conference call with his accountants. Leo's laughter echoing from somewhere on the 3rd floor, joyful and completely unaware of the illegal transactions being discussed 3 floors below. Jae-Ha lost his train of thought mid-sentence. His CFO had to repeat a question twice. That evening, Jae-Ha found himself walking toward the safe wing instead of his study. He told himself it was a security check, making sure the new protocols were being followed. Nothing more. He found Maya in the kitchen area of the safe wing, preparing a bottle. Leo was in a high chair, banging a plastic spoon against the tray, creating a rhythm only he understood. The moment Leo saw Jae-Ha in the doorway, he dropped the spoon and reached out, making that same grabbing motion. Dada! Dada up! Maya turned, startled. Mr. Kwon. I'm sorry, is he being too loud? I can, show me how to make that. He pointed at the bottle. She blinked. The bottle? Yes. You want to make a bottle? I want to understand the process. If something happens to you, I need to know how to. He stopped. That wasn't why. They both knew it. Maya studied his face, searching for something. Then slowly, carefully, she showed him. Measured formula. Warm water. Shake gently. Test the temperature on the wrist. Like this, she said, demonstrating. Jae-Ha washed her hands. Small. Efficient. Gentle. Nothing like his. She handed him the bottle. You want to try? He took it. The plastic felt absurd in his grip. Too light. Too innocent. These hands had held weapons. Had closed around throats. Had signed papers that ended lives. Now they were holding a baby bottle. Leo banged the tray again, impatient. Dada! Hungry! Maya lifted Leo from the high chair and, before Jae-Ha could protest, placed him in his arms. The child settled against his chest immediately, reaching for the bottle, completely trusting. Jae-Ha froze. He'd held many things in his life. Never something this fragile. Never something that looked at him like he wasn't a monster. Support his head, Maya said quietly. Like this. She adjusted his arm. Her fingers brushed his tattoos, the ones that snaked up from his wrist. She didn't flinch. Leo grabbed the bottle with both hands and drank, eyes drifting closed, completely content. And Jae-Ha stood in the kitchen of his penthouse, holding a child who called him Dada, and felt the careful control he'd maintained for 37 years begin to slip. Maya watched him with an expression he couldn't name. Not fear. Not judgment. Something softer. Something that made his chest tight. He trusts you, she said. I don't know why. Jae-Ha looked down at Leo, who had fallen asleep against him, bottle half empty, small hand clutching his shirt. Neither do I. But he didn't put the child down. Not for another 20 minutes. Not until Maya gently took him back and carried him to his crib. And even then, Jae-Ha stood in the doorway watching the baby sleep, wondering when exactly his empire had stopped being the most important thing in his life. Jae-Ha found the file by accident. He wasn't looking for it. Wasn't digging into Maya's past. But when his head of intelligence dropped a stack of background checks on known associates onto his desk, her photo was paper-clipped to page 37. Maya Torres. Real name, Maya Reyes. Witness protection dropout. Federal case number redacted. Last known location, Manila. Current location, his penthouse. He read the file 3 times. Each time, his jaw got tighter. Maya hadn't just appeared in Seoul looking for housekeeping work. She'd run. From the Philippines to Hong Kong to Tokyo to here, staying one step ahead of someone who wanted her dead. And the someone was Diego Carrera, his logistics coordinator for the southern ports. The man who'd sat in his strategy meetings for 2 years. The man Jae-Ha had trusted with shipment routes and distribution networks. The man who was, according to this file, wanted for human trafficking in 3 countries. Maya had witnessed a deal gone wrong in Manila. Seen Diego execute 2 federal agents who'd gotten too close. She'd testified. Gone into protection. Then disappeared when she realized the protection wasn't enough. That Diego had connections that reached into government offices and police departments and courtrooms. So she'd run with her infant son and a fake passport, and whatever money she could carry. She'd been running for 18 months. And she'd ended up working for the one man in Seoul who employed the monster hunting her. Jae-Ha closed the file. Stared at his office wall. Felt something cold and sharp settle in his stomach. He walked to the safe wing at midnight. Found Maya sitting in the small living room, Leo asleep in the next room, her laptop open to job listings in other countries. She was planning to run again. She looked up when he entered. Saw his expression. Knew immediately. You found out. It wasn't a question. Diego Carrera, Jae-Ha said quietly. He works for me. Maya stood slowly, instinctively positioning herself between Jae-Ha and Leo's room. I didn't know. When I took this job, I didn't know he was here. I swear I didn't. Sit down. If you're going to sit down. She sat, trembling, waiting for whatever came next. Jae-Ha remained standing. You saw him kill federal agents? Yes. You testified? Yes. You ran because you knew witness protection couldn't save you? Yes. And you've been here, in my home, for 11 months, knowing the man who wants you dead is 3 floors below you in strategy meetings. I didn't have a choice. I needed work. Needed money. Needed somewhere he wouldn't think to look. And working for you, I thought maybe if I stayed close to his world, he wouldn't expect it. That he'd be looking for me in places far away, not right under his nose. It was brilliant. Insane. Desperate. Exactly what someone with no options would do. He's been asking questions, Jae-Ha said. About staff. About new hires. I thought he was being thorough. Now I know he's hunting. Maya's face went white. Does he know I'm here? Not yet. But he will. My people are loyal, but loyalty has limits. Eventually someone will mention the housekeeper with a baby. He'll come looking. Then I'll leave. Tonight. You don't have to be involved, you're not leaving. Mr. Kwon, you're not leaving, he repeated, voice hard. Because Leo calls me Dada, and I'll be damned if I let that child grow up fatherless because I was too much of a coward to handle a problem I created. You didn't create this. I employed a human trafficker. I gave him power. I gave him resources. Which means I'm responsible for what he does with them. And what he wants to do is kill you. He pulled out his phone. Made a call. Minsu. I need everything on Diego Carrera. Financial records. Communications. Everywhere he's been in the last 6 months. And I need it by morning. He hung up. Looked at Maya. You're safe here. He won't touch you. But you need to tell me everything. Every detail. Everything you saw. Everything you know. Why? Because I'm going to end him. Maya stared at him. You'd go to war with your own associate? For me? No, Jae-Ha said. I'm going to war with a monster who threatened my family. There's a difference. The word hung in the air. Family. Maya's eyes filled. She nodded once. And began to talk. The package arrived at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Wrapped in silver paper with a blue ribbon. Addressed to the Iron King and his new family. Minsu brought it to Jae-Ha's office personally, face grim, already wearing gloves. It was left at the lobby desk. Cameras show a courier service. Paid in cash. No traceable sender. Jae-Ha stared at the box. Too light to be a bomb. Too deliberate to be innocent. X-ray it. Already did. There's fabric inside. And a note. They opened it in the secure room. Away from Maya. Away from Leo. Away from anything innocent. Inside was a child's blue blanket. Soft. Expensive. The kind you'd buy for a baby shower. And pinned to it, a note in printed text. Children are such fragile things. It would be a shame if something happened to yours. Congratulations on your new weakness. A friend. Jae-Ha's hand crushed the note. His jaw locked so tight Minsu heard it crack. Who sent this? It wasn't a question. It was a death sentence waiting for a name. We're tracing the courier service now. But boss, the phrasing, a friend, that's elder council terminology. They're the only ones who sign threats that way. Which one? Could be any of them. You've had the woman and child here for 2 weeks. They've all noticed. They're all talking. Jae-Ha stood. Walked to the window. Looked down at Seoul spread below him like a kingdom he'd built with blood and fear. A kingdom that was now threatening a 14-month-old child because he'd shown a moment of humanity. Call an emergency meeting. Tonight. All council members. Mandatory attendance. Boss, if you tip your hand, I'm not tipping anything. I'm making a statement. What statement? Jae-Ha turned. His eyes were black. Empty. The way they looked before he did things that made grown men disappear. That anyone who threatens that child doesn't just lose their standing in this organization. They lose their life. Slowly. Min-soo had known Jae-Ha for 15 years. Had seen him angry. Had seen him cold. Had never seen him like this. Feral. Protective. Dangerous in a way that transcended business. You're going to war over a child that isn't even yours, Min-soo said carefully. He calls me Dada. That makes him mine. The council will say you're compromised. That you're thinking with emotion instead of strategy. Then the council can join whoever sent this package. Jae-Ha walked past him. Headed toward the safe wing. Where are you going? To tell Maya we're moving to the secure location. And to hold my son. The possessive pronoun wasn't lost on Min-soo. Jae-Ha found Maya in the playroom, building blocks with Leo. The child saw him and immediately abandoned the blocks, running over with arms up. Dada! Up! Up! Jae-Ha picked him up. Held him close. Felt the small heartbeat against his chest. Felt the trust. The innocence. The absolute vulnerability. Someone had threatened this. Someone had sent a blanket as a promise of violence. Someone had made the worst mistake of their life. Maya saw his expression. What happened? We're moving. Tonight. I have a secure property outside the city. Bulletproof. Monitored. Safe. Why? What's wrong? Someone sent a message. A threat. Directed at Leo. Maya's face drained of color. Diego found us. This wasn't Diego. This was worse. This was people who know exactly who I am and think they can use Leo to control me. Can they? Jae-Ha looked at her. Then at Leo, who was playing with his tie, completely unaware that his existence had just made him the target of Seoul's most dangerous men. No, Jae-Ha said quietly. Because I'm about to remind everyone why they called me the Iron King. And why crossing me is a death sentence. He kissed Leo's forehead. First time. Gentle. Reverent. Get whatever you need. We leave in an hour. Maya didn't argue. She'd seen that look before. On Diego's face right before he killed those agents. But this was different. This wasn't cruelty. This was protection taken to its most extreme form. This was a monster choosing to be a guardian. And God help anyone who got in his way. The power went out at midnight. Not an accident. Jae-Ha knew at the moment the backup generators didn't kick in. Someone had cut the main line and disabled the secondary system. Professional. Coordinated. A message. Maya grabbed Leo from his crib, hard hammering, and ran to the panic room like Jae-Ha had drilled into her. But he was already there, gun drawn, positioning himself between them and the door. Stay behind me. Don't make a sound. Leo whimpered, sensing tension. Maya held him close, hand over his mouth gently, shushing. They waited in absolute darkness. 5 minutes. 10. 15. Then Jae-Ha's phone lit up. Text from Min-soo. False alarm. Transformer blue. Citywide outage. You're secure. Jae-Ha exhaled. Lowered the gun. We're safe. Just a power outage. Maya's legs gave out. She slid down the wall, still clutching Leo, and started crying. Not loud. Just quiet, Exhausted tears of someone who'd been running for too long. Jae-Ha sat beside her in the dark. Leo had fallen back asleep against Maya's chest, completely trusting that the adults would keep him safe. "I can't do this," Maya whispered. "I can't live like this. Every sound. Every shadow. Thinking someone's coming for us. They won't get to you. You can't promise that." "I can. And I do." "Why?" Her voice cracked. "Why are you doing this? We're nothing to you. I'm just a housekeeper. He's just a baby who got confused about who his father is. You don't owe us anything." Jae-Ha was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Do you know what these are?" He touched his neck. The tattoos that snaked up from his collar. Maya had seen them. Never asked? Tattoos. Names. Dates. People I couldn't save. Her breath caught. "My mother. Here." He touched below his ear. "Died when I was 7. Cancer. I was too young to help. Too powerless." He moved his hand lower. "My brother. Younger. Killed when I was 19. Gang initiation gone wrong. I wasn't there. I was building connections. Networking. Trying to become powerful enough to protect him. I was too late." Another spot. "My first lieutenant. Betrayed by someone I trusted. Executed because I didn't see the signs." Another. "A girl. 14 years old. Caught in crossfire during a territory dispute. Wrong place. Wrong time. Collateral damage." He touched the last one. "Recent. Still healing. My mentor. The man who taught me everything. Died 6 months ago. Heart attack. I was in a meeting. Didn't answer his call. By the time I got there, he was gone." Maya stared at him in the darkness. "Each one is someone I failed. Someone I should have protected. Someone I lost because I wasn't strong enough, fast enough, careful enough. I've spent 20 years building power so I'd never feel that helpless again. So I'd never have to add another name. But you still feel helpless. Every day. Because power doesn't actually protect anyone. It just gives you more to lose." He looked at Leo, sleeping peacefully between them. "When he called me Dada, when he looked at me like I was someone safe, someone good, I felt it again. That fear. That certainty that I'd failed him the way I failed everyone else. So why keep us here? Why not send us away where we'd be safer? Because sending you away doesn't make you safe. It just makes you someone else's problem. And I can't." His voice broke. Just slightly. "I can't add 2 more names to this collection. I can't. So you stay. Where I can see you. Where I can protect you. Where I can make sure that when Leo grows up, he doesn't become another failure I wear on my skin." Maya reached over Leo and touched Jae-Ha's hand. "You're not going to fail us. You don't know that." "No. But I trust you anyway." "Why?" "Because you're the first person in 18 months who didn't see me as prey. You saw me as someone worth protecting. That's not nothing." The lights flickered back on. Emergency power restored. In the sudden brightness, Maya saw Jae-Ha's face clearly. Saw the scars. The tattoos. The exhaustion. The fear he hid behind control. "You're not a monster," she said quietly. "Yes, I am." "Then you're a monster who learned how to hold a bottle. Who listens to a baby laugh. Who keeps people safe. That doesn't erase what I've done." "No. But it's a start." Leo stirred. Reached for Jae-Ha even in sleep. And Jae-Ha held him. This child who trusted him. This living, breathing chance at redemption. "I won't let anything happen to either of you," he said. It sounded like a vow. It sounded like a prayer. It sounded like the promise of a man who'd already lost too much and refused to lose anything else. If you're still watching, drop a "still watching" in the comments, because this next part changes everything. Jae-Ha had taken Leo to the park because Maya needed rest and the child needed sunshine and maybe, just maybe, Jae-Ha needed to prove to himself that he could do normal things. That he could be the father Leo thought he was. Han River Park was busy on Sunday afternoons. Families. Couples. Children on bikes. Normal people living normal lives. Jae-Ha sat on a bench watching Leo chase pigeons, laughing every time they flew away, completely delighted by the simple joy of it. Two of Jae-Ha's men stood 30 feet away, pretending to be joggers. Security. Always security. His phone buzzed. Text from Min-soo. Council moved early. They're at the penthouse. It started. Jae-Ha's blood went cold. They'd planned a coup. He'd known it was coming. Just not today. Not now. Not while he was in a public park with a toddler. Another text. They have Maya. She's secure in panic room but they're trying to breach. I'm holding them off but we're outnumbered. You need to get back. Now. Jae-Ha stood. Scanned the park. Spotted them immediately. 4 men. Not his. Positioned at exits. Watching him. Waiting. They'd planned this perfectly. Pull him away from his stronghold. Separate him from his people. Make him vulnerable. And they'd use Leo as bait by making him feel safe enough to leave. The men started moving closer. Casual. Not running. But closing distance. Jae-Ha had maybe 2 minutes before they reached him. He couldn't fight here. Not with Leo 10 feet away chasing birds. Not with families everywhere. Not with witnesses and phones and the kind of attention that would destroy everything. He walked to Leo. Picked him up. Time to go, buddy. No! Pigeons! We'll come back. Promise. One of his security guards approached. Boss, we have a problem, I know. Get the car. Now. They slashed the tires. Of course they did. Jae-Ha's mind raced. 4 hostiles closing in. 2 guards. 1 toddler who couldn't know his Dada was about to kill people in broad daylight. He made a decision. Pulled out his phone. Called Min-soo. I'm boxed in. Han River Park. East entrance. 4 hostiles. I have Leo. I can't engage. I'm sending backup but they're 20 minutes out. I don't have 20 minutes. One of the men was 50 feet away now. Reaching into his jacket. Jae-Ha saw the gun. Saw the intent. Saw the moment it all went wrong. He turned his back to them. Shielded Leo with his body. Felt rather than saw his guard move into position. Heard the suppressed gunshot. His guard went down. Leg wound. Non-fatal but disabling. The families in the park started screaming. Running. Chaos. Leo started crying, frightened by the noise. Dada! Scared. I know. Close your eyes. It's okay. Close your eyes and hold tight. Jae-Ha ran. Not away. Toward. Straight at the shooter. The man didn't expect it. Expected retreat. Got aggression instead. Jae-Ha hit him full force, one arm wrapped around Leo, the other delivering a strike that shattered the man's jaw. The gun fell. Jae-Ha kicked it away. Kept moving. 2 more men converging. He couldn't fight them. Not while holding Leo. Not without traumatizing the child permanently. So he did the only thing he could. Ran for the river. Heard footsteps behind him. Heard shouts. Heard his remaining guard engaging, buying him seconds. The park path turned. Trees. Cover. He ducked behind a maintenance building. Set Leo down. Stay here. Don't move. Don't make noise. Dada will be right back. Dada, I love you. Stay quiet. He'd never said it before. Didn't have time to process it now. Stepped out to face the 2 men chasing him. No guns. Too public now. Police sirens in the distance. They'd have to do this fast. Close. Brutal. The first man swung. Jae-Ha blocked. Countered. Broke his arm. Used the momentum to throw him into the second man. They went down tangled. Jae-Ha was on them immediately. No mercy. No hesitation. 30 seconds of violence that would have made grown men flinch. When it was over, both men were unconscious. Jae-Ha's knuckles were bleeding. His suit was ruined. And Leo was peeking around the corner of the building, eyes wide, having seen more than Jae-Ha wanted. Dada hurt? Leo's voice was small. Scared. Jae-Ha wiped his hands on his jacket. Tried to control his breathing. Dada's okay. Just playing. Grown-up playing. Scary playing. I know. I'm sorry. He picked Leo up. The child buried his face in Jae-Ha's neck. Crying. Shaking. Min-soo's car screeched up. Get in! Jae-Ha dove into the back seat. Maya? Safe. We got there in time. But boss, the council, I know. Take us to the secondary location. And get me a line to every council member still breathing. What are you going to do? Jae-Ha looked at Leo, still crying against him, innocence shattered by witnessing violence he should never have seen. I'm going to end this. Tonight. All of them. Anyone who threatened my family. Anyone who forced me to fight in front of my son. They wanted war? They're going to get extinction. Jae-Ha was in the war room when it happened. 12 hours after the park. Maps spread across the table. Photos of every elder council member. Names crossed out in red. He'd taken 4 of them already. Swift. Brutal. Efficient. The message was clear: threaten his family, you don't get a trial. You get a funeral. Min-soo was coordinating teams. Tracking the remaining council members. They were scattered. Hiding. Afraid. Good. They should be. 2 more locations confirmed, Min-soo said, marking the map. We can hit both simultaneously if we split resources. Do it. I want this finished by dawn. And Diego? Jae-Ha's jaw tightened. Diego Carrera. Still out there. Still hunting Maya. Still breathing. He's next. After the council. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He almost ignored it. Then saw the photo attached to the text. Maya. Zip tied to a chair. Tape over her mouth. Eyes wide with terror. And in her lap Leo. Crying. Reaching for the camera. The text below read. You took 4 of ours. We took 2 of yours. Fair trade? Call this number in 5 minutes, or we start with the child. Jae-Ha's world stopped. Tilted. Shattered. No. Min-soo looked over. Saw his expression. Boss? Jae-Ha showed him the phone. Min-soo went pale. How? The panic room location is encrypted. Only 3 people know it. You, me, and... They both realized at the same time. Turned to look at Jinwoo. Jae-Ha's second in command. His right hand for 5 years. Standing in the corner of the room. Looking guilty. Looking caught. Looking like he just signed his own death warrant. You, Jae-Ha said. Voice empty. Hollow. They offered me a seat on the new council, Jinwoo said. Not apologetic. Defiant. After they remove you. They promised me territories. Power. Everything you've kept from me for years while I did your dirty work. I trusted you. You trusted a weapon. That's all I've ever been to you. A tool. But they see me as a leader. Where are they? I don't know. They didn't tell me. Just asked for the panic room location and... Jae-Ha moved faster than thought. Had Jinwoo by the throat, slammed against the wall, gun pressed under his chin. Where are they? I don't know. I swear I don't know. They said they'd contact me after. Jae-Ha pulled the trigger. Jinwoo's body dropped. The room went silent. Min-soo stared. Boss, we needed him. He gave them my son. Jae-Ha's voice cracked on the last word. He gave them Leo. He's worthless. The phone rang. The unknown number. Jae-Ha answered. I'm here. Mr. Kwon. The Iron King. We finally have your attention. The voice was distorted. Mechanical. Untraceable. Where are they? Safe. For now. The woman is unharmed. The child is crying but intact. Whether they stay that way depends on you. What do you want? Your complete withdrawal from Seoul operations. Transfer of all territories to the Elder Council. And your public acknowledgement that you are no longer in control. You want me to give up everything. We want you to understand that love makes you weak. That caring for people makes you vulnerable. That the Iron King died the moment a baby called him Dada. If you hurt them, you'll what? Kill us? You're already doing that. 4 council members dead in 12 hours. You've declared war. We're simply fighting back. And we're winning. Because we have the only 2 things you actually care about. Jae-Ha's hand shook. Actually shook. Let me talk to her. Prove they're alive. Rustling. Then Maya's voice. Tape ripped off. Jae-Ha, don't give them anything. We're not worth. A slap. Maya's cry of pain. Leo screaming. Mama! Mama hurt! Stop! Jae-Ha's voice broke. Stop. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't hurt them. You have 2 hours. Prepare a public statement. Transfer documents. Everything. Or we send you pieces of them. Starting with fingers. Then we'll see how much you're willing to sacrifice. The line went dead. Jae-Ha stood in the war room surrounded by maps and plans and the body of a man he trusted. And for the first time since he was 19 years old, the Iron King felt completely, utterly helpless. Minsu touched his shoulder. We'll find them. How? Jin-woo was our intel source. They know all our protocols. All our safe houses. All our contacts. Then we go outside our network. We call in favors. We burn every bridge if we have to. We have 2 hours. Then we make them count. Jae-Ha looked at the photo again. Maya's terrified eyes. Leo's tear-streaked face. The 2 people who'd made him feel human. Who'd made him want to be better. Who are now paying the price for his weakness. Find them, he said. I don't care what it costs. I don't care who we have to burn. Find my family. Minsu nodded. Made calls. Mobilized everything. And Jae-Ha stood alone in the room, staring at the photo, making a different kind of plan. Because if they didn't find Maya and Leo in time, if he had to choose between his empire and their lives, the choice was already made. He'd burn it all down. Everything he'd built. Everything he'd become. All of it. For a woman who trusted him and a child who called him Dada. The Iron King was dead. And in his place was just a man. Desperate. Terrified. Willing to trade everything for the chance to hold his son one more time. They called 1 hour and 47 minutes later. Pier 19. The old shipping warehouse. Come alone. Unarmed. Any sign of backup and we execute the woman first, then the child. You have 30 minutes. Minsu was already tracking the call. It's a trap. They'll kill you the moment you arrive. I know. Then don't go. We'll find another way. There is no other way. You heard them. Any backup, Maya dies. I can't risk it. So you're just going to walk in there and let them execute you. If that's what it takes. Jae-Ha stripped off his jacket. Removed his gun. His knife. His backup weapon. Everything. Boss, this is suicide. This is fatherhood. He looked at Minsu. If I don't come back, everything goes to Maya. The accounts. The properties. All of it. Make sure Leo grows up safe. Make sure he never knows what I really was. You're talking like you're already dead. I am. The moment they took my son. He walked out. Took a car. Drove alone through Seoul streets at 3 a.m. Pier 19 was abandoned. Had been for years. Perfect place for an execution. He parked. Got out. Walked toward the warehouse with his hands visible. Empty. Unarmed. Vulnerable. The doors opened. 6 men. armed, positioned. And in the center, tied to chairs, Maya and Leo. The child was asleep, exhausted from crying. Maya was awake, bruised. When she saw Jae-Ha, she shook her head, mouthing, "No. Don't." He walked in anyway. One man stepped forward. Council member. The one who'd sent the blanket. The Iron King. On his knees. Finally. Let them go. You have me. That's what you wanted. What we wanted was your empire. But this is so much better. Watching you break. Watching the great Jae-Ha Kwon beg. I'm not begging. I'm offering a trade. My life for theirs. Why would we trade when we can have both? The man raised his gun. Pointed it at Maya. Jae-Ha moved without thinking. Crossed 10 feet in seconds. Took the bullet meant for her in his shoulder. Went down hard. The other men raised their weapons. This was it. This was how it ended. But then the windows exploded. Glass raining down. Minsu and 20 armed men pouring through. Gunfire. Chaos. Screaming. Jae-Ha crawled to Maya and Leo. Used his body as a shield. Felt bullets hit the floor around them. Felt his own blood spreading. I told you not to come. Maya sobbed. I'm not good at following orders. You're shot. I've been shot before. Leo woke up. Saw blood. Saw his Dada hurt. Started screaming. Dada! Dada! I'm okay, buddy. I'm okay. He wasn't. He was bleeding badly. Vision blurring. But he stayed between them and the fight. Stayed conscious through will alone. The gunfire stopped. Minsu appeared. Clear. We got them all. Maya? Safe. Leo's safe. Boss, you need a hospital. Is my family safe? Yes. Then I can rest. His vision went dark. Last thing he heard was Leo crying. Dada! Wake up! Dada! Last thing he felt was Maya's hand in his. Last thing he thought was, I kept them safe. I didn't fail this time. He woke up 2 days later in a private hospital. Tubes. Monitors. Pain. Maya asleep in a chair beside him. Leo curled in her lap. Both alive. Both safe. Both here. He tried to speak. Couldn't. Tried to move. Couldn't. But Maya's eyes opened. She saw him awake. Started crying. You idiot. You absolute idiot. You almost died. Worth it. His voice was barely a whisper. You walked into a trap for us. Not a trap. A choice. You gave up everything, no? I found everything. He looked at Leo. Is he okay? Scared. But okay. He's been asking for you. Won't let anyone else hold him. Bring him here. Maya hesitated. You're hurt. The doctor said bring him here. She gently woke Leo. The child's eyes opened. Saw Jae-Ha. Lit up despite the fear and trauma. Dada! Dada, awake! Maya placed him carefully on the bed. Leo immediately curled against Jae-Ha's uninjured side. Small hand on his chest. Dada scared me. I know. I'm sorry. You got ouchie? Big ouchie. But I'm okay now. Mama cried. I know. I'm sorry I made Mama cry. Leo looked up at him with those trusting eyes. Those innocent eyes that saw a father instead of a monster. Love you, Dada. Jae-Ha's chest tightened. I love you too, Leo. So much. Maya was crying again. Jae-Ha reached for her hand. I'm sorry. For everything. For the danger. For almost leaving you. For stop. You saved us. You gave up everything to save us. I'd do it again. I know. That's what terrifies me. Maya. She looked at him. When I get out of here, I'm done. With all of it. The council's dead. The empire's broken. I'm walking away. Building something legitimate. Something safe. For him. For you. If you'll let me. Let you? Be his father. Actually. Legally. Permanently. I want to adopt him. I want. His voice broke. I want to be the man he thinks I am. Maya leaned down. Kissed his forehead. You already are. And in that hospital room, surrounded by machines and monitors and the evidence of violence, Jae-Ha Kwon finally became exactly what Leo had seen from the beginning. Not the Iron King. Not a monster. Just Dada. Wounded. Imperfect. But present. And that was enough. 6 months later, Jae-Ha stood in a courthouse in downtown Seoul holding a folder full of paperwork that legally made him Leo's father. The judge had asked the standard questions. Financial stability? Yes. Safe environment? Yes. Commitment to the child's welfare? Absolute. Maya had stood beside him as a witness. As a partner. As something more than just the woman he'd saved. The adoption was finalized at 2:47 p.m. on a Wednesday. Leo became Leo Kwon officially. And Jae-Ha became what he'd spent 37 years believing he could never be. A father. They celebrated with ice cream in the park where he'd almost died. Leo didn't remember that day. Too young. Too traumatized. His therapist said that was mercy. Children's brains protected them from the worst memories. But he remembered Dada. Remembered being held. Remembered feeling safe even when the world was ending. More! Leo demanded, chocolate ice cream smeared across his face. Maya laughed. Wiped his chin. You're going to be sick. Let him have more, Jae-Ha said. It's a special day. You're going to spoil him. That's my job now. She smiled. That smile that had become familiar over 6 months of rebuilding. 6 months of therapy and lawyers and slowly, carefully learning to be a family. Jae-Ha's empire was gone. Dismantled piece by piece. Some parts sold. Some parts destroyed. Some parts legitimized. He'd kept the real estate holdings. The tech investments. The clean money. Everything else burned. The Elder Council was extinct. Every member who'd participated in the coup was dead or in prison. The ones who'd stayed neutral were encouraged to retire. Forcefully. Seoul's underworld had fractured. Smaller organizations fighting over scraps. Jae-Ha didn't care. Let them. He was done. His new office was in Gangnam. 20th floor instead of 50th. Glass and steel instead of marble and mahogany. Legitimate business. Legal contracts. Board meetings that didn't end in bloodshed. It was boring. It was safe. It was exactly what he needed. Maya had started her own business. Fashion design. Small studio. Custom pieces. She was talented. Clients were already finding her. Building something that was hers. Not running anymore. Not hiding. Just living. They hadn't labeled what they were to each other. Not yet. Taking it slow. Learning. But Jae-Ha knew. Had known since the hospital. She was home. They both were. Dada, swing! Leo ran toward the playground. Jae-Ha followed. Lifted him into the swing. Pushed gently. Listened to the laughter. Pure. Unfiltered. The sound that had changed everything. Higher! Not too high. You'll fly away. Want to fly? Not yet. Stay with me a little longer. Maya joined them. Stood close. Her shoulder touching his. He's happy. He is. So are you. Jae-Ha looked at her. I am. The great Iron King. Reduced to pushing swings in a park. Reduced? No. Elevated. Finally elevated to something that matters. She leaned her head on his shoulder. The tattoos. Are you going to add more? He thought about it. Thought about adding Leo's name. Maya's name. Marking them as people he'd saved instead of failed. No. I'm done collecting failures. Time to build successes instead. That's very optimistic for you. I have a lot to be optimistic about. Leo jumped off the swing mid-push, ran to them, crashed into Jae-Ha's legs. Dada! Hungry! You just had ice cream. Still hungry? Maya laughed. Let's go home. I'll make dinner. Home. The word used to mean nothing. A place to sleep. Store things. Exist. Now it meant everything. It meant Leo's toys scattered across the living room. It meant Maya's sketches on the coffee table. It meant family dinners and bedtime stories and slowly learning what normal people did with their lives. They walked to the car. Leo between them, holding both their hands. Swinging. Joyful. Jae-Ha's phone buzzed. Work. Always work. But different work now. Legal. Boring. Safe. He ignored it. Everything okay? Maya asked. Everything's perfect. And it was. Not because his empire was gone or because he'd survived or because he'd won some war, but because a 14-month-old child had once looked at a monster and seen a father. And in seeing it made it true. The Iron King was dead. Long live Dada. And that legacy, the sound of a child's laughter, the trust in small hands, the quiet peace of a family built from ruins, that legacy was worth more than any empire ever could be. That legacy would last. That legacy was love. And Jae-Ha Kwon, former crime lord, current father, learned what his tattoos had been trying to teach him all along. The people you save become who you are. And he'd finally saved the ones who mattered most.